This program is brought to you through the kind support of the Friends of That's What She Said. Support BCTV by visiting bctv.org/support.
It used to be great, now it's not so great, but it's still pretty great. Reading. Ate pretzels nonstop and pot pie no top. For dessert till we drop. Perks. Did they really say that? They did not say that. Yeah, they did say that. That's what she said.
Here we go.
Welcome to another episode of That's What She Said, where we, tonight, four women talk about whatever the heck we feel like talking about.
That's right.
I do have to apologize. I'm taking this one shoe off. I was.
Should I take one too?
Well, earlier
We can all do it.
Well, we
and then
could.
you
Then we
won't
could match. We could be synchronized.
Nicole's shoes are practically off because they're flip-flops.
Take them
Well,
off. It doesn't
the
matter.
other night I went down to get my bedtime milk. Well, bourbon. And I was coming up the stairs, and from the TV I heard Space Force. And I started laughing, and I tripped on the stairs, dropped the... Okay, it was a bottle of bourbon. On my toe, and my toe is horribly bunged up, and it just feels much more comfortable out of the shoe. So
I'm sorry.
yeah, that's all right.
That's terrible.
But yes, here we are. We're trying something new tonight. We are we are also on Facebook Live on Jane my page. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yes,
Jane Street Live is what I show here.
All right, Jane Street Live for TWSS. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm Jay. Clearly, we've started drinking already.
This is good stuff.
And you are Sheila.
I'm Sheila.
I'm Martha.
I'm Nicole.
Oh, I'm so used to there
That's it.
being more people
I
here.
know, Sarah's
was
not
waiting
with
for
us
the next-
Sarah's not with
Yes,
us tonight.
and we send our good wishes to Sarah.
We love you,
because,
Sarah.
Yes.
Love you.
She's
Take care of yourself.
she's on the mend as well. But remember, you can call us at 610-378-0426 or tweet us. I have the Twitterer ready at @ she tweets to me. You can also visit us at twss.tv to get all our links and info on the show and us. And isn't
Yeah.
life wonderful? We're giddy with this excitement of the.
I'm tweeting up a storm.
Sheila's tweeting.
Yeah, I never
but
use that.
Let's start it off. Last month we decided that we were going to participate in Berks County Rocks and all paint a rock. And I hear somebody went a little overboard with her rock
Somebody
painting.
showed us all
I
up.
did. I made everybody a rock. I did like personalized rocks.
Oh yes. Who wants to do something? Yes, go ahead.
I'll talk about it. So, Berks County Rocks, it's on Facebook. You can find them, Berks County Rocks, or BCR. And they're a great little Facebook group. So the idea is you paint rocks, and you can put any sort of design on them, and you can ask for advice on what paints to use and stuff like that, although I found that advice after I painted my rocks, so there's that. But, and then the idea is to sort of hide them somewhere outside in Berks County, and then as other people find yours or you find other people's, you should post a picture of it and where you found it, and then re-hide it. So it's kind of like this pay it forward of fun little things, and Berks County has it. There's a couple others that have it. I think
Chicago has it now.
Yeah,
They at least have 4 rocks that.
Wow.
In fact, my friend Michelle gave me this rock that her and her husband found. It's from Kindness Rocks, Chester County. So they found it in Chester County, so I'm going to hide it in Berks County.
That's cool.
So
It's a kitty on it.
It's a little kitty. It says "Adopt Your BFF," so it's for pet adoption. I love it. So
do too.
we're going to hide this one when we hide our other ones.
Excellent.
So
Aw,
I think
and
it's such a
David
fun
painted
idea.
one, right?
David did paint one. He sat down and painted with Mommy. I don't know if he'll be understanding of the whole now you have to hide it and let go of it factor, but we'll try.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
I looked out. My neighbor, I don't think gets the find and catch and release, because she has in her backyard. She has about 50 of the painted rocks that she goes along and collects. And
fantastic.
it's like,
That's
darling,
awesome.
just pay it forward. Just enjoy it for a moment and then
You're not
put it
supposed to keep
somewhere else
them
for
all.
somebody else to
They're
enjoy.
not garden
That would
gnomes.
be me.
They're
I'd
not
have a hard
supposed to
time getting
come
rid
to
of
die in your garden.
Indeed. So, who wants to start with their rock? Oh,
We have a home viewer.
home viewer.
Yay!
Hello, who's with us tonight?
Hi, this is Sabina. It's Beverly's daughter. And by the way, Dean, I love your makeup.
Oh, thank you, my darling.
And I participate in Berks County Rocks, and my grandma makes me do it.
Good for Grandma and good for you.
Indeed, but it's fun, isn't it? Isn't it? Even if
Yes.
you're made to do it. Yes.
How many rocks have you painted?
I don't know. My grandma grabs rocks and paint it silver, and then we paint on the silver.
Oh,
I mean the gold.
I
that she puts
painted
on
mine
it.
on a silver rock for my thing.
I tell you what, the things I did with my grandma are like the things that are the most favorite memories of my life. So take advantage
Paint
of
those
painting rocks with your grandma. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for calling in.
you.
And
Yeah, it was nice
and
to hear
keep
you.
up that rock painting.
That's right.
Yep. Thank
See
you.
you.
Thank you, my darling. Bye-bye.
Aw.
That was wonderful.
young
Her.
Yes.
That was so cute.
See, we are live.
And it's past her bedtime.
Even if our souls are
past
dead,
our
we are
bedtime.
live.
Right.
I'm going to give Martha her rock
Oh,
first.
my
I want to
goodness.
see my rock.
Because Martha likes to garden.
Beautiful.
Oh, my goodness.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. I don't know if you can see it, but it is
Oh,
fantastically
Gracious.
beautiful. Thank you.
You're
Thank you. Thank you.
welcome. And then I'm going to give Jane her rock. Because Jane spent some time in the Emerald City.
oh,
I
my
a green rock
goodness.
with.
Thank you so much. That's
And Jane's red lips.
And Jane's red lips.
absolutely wonderful. Love it.
Great. I painted a mama bird with her two baby birds.
Oh my
It came out looking kind of like a penguin. But you know,
You
did one
do.
for Sarah as well, because she has her
she
puppy.
has your
so
puppy.
She's got little paws.
How am I supposed to let this go now? I
You don't have to.
I'm going to put this in my
And I painted
garden.
one for Jamie as well. This one I did not come up with the idea, but I thought it was quirky and fun, and Jamie's quirky and fun, so this one is for Jamie. This one,
Oh, I love
Dear
that.
rock.
Here, show the
it
camera.
says, "Dear Rock, I win. Love paper." And it's a piece of paper on a rock.
Right.
Well, thank
I like
you, my
how-
darling.
Thank you.
I like how my bird has glasses.
I know, right? I was like, look, I'm gonna draw glasses on so that she knows that's the mama bird.
Great.
These
Well,
are
my
put it in my
absolutely
garden.
And I
wonderful.
tried to draw like the baby girl in the belly, so I don't know.
But no, they're perfect.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine, my nickname is Ladybird, and we
Oh,
call
really?
David Sparrow.
Cute.
And new baby's going to be Chickadee, so this is
That's
perfect.
nice. I didn't even know that.
It's like our code names for when we
Oh,
become
my
famous.
So fun.
Gracious, we have
home
another.
viewer.
We're buzzing tonight.
That's
Hello,
awesome.
who's with us tonight?
Hello, ladies. This is Meg, Martha's daughter.
Hello, how are you?
I am well. I was calling about the rocks when I was back there in April. My mom and dad showed them to me, and I brought 2 of them back for San Francisco. So I spread them around the Lake Merced here, so they may
awesome.
show up.
That's
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's awesome.
And my last question, I just wanted to ask, is Nikki going to show up now that school is out?
Sorry, it's.
What's that?
Nikki. She's been
Oh, is it Summertime Nikki?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Summertime Nikki's here.
I really like summertime.
Haven't you noticed the stressless look on my face and my shoulders carry no anxiety? I'm chill. Yes, she is here now.
Well, good.
Nikki.
Well, wonderful show, and enjoy yourselves. I'll be watching the rest of it.
Thank you.
Good to hear from you.
And keep spreading those rocks. All right, who wants
Bye-bye.
to go? Bye-bye.
Okay, go ahead, you Martha. You
I
go.
just thought okay, well, I thought actually we were going to have these rocks on the last show. So this has been painted. I mean, I rushed this one through. But mine says, read a book. In the back it says, turn off the screen and read. Because, you know, I am an advocate for reading books during the summer. And so that's what my rock says.
I
I love
read
it.
a book.
That's fantastic.
I love it. Well, I carried the Jane theme into my rock.
You did?
It's a little less ornate than hers, But I did a silver lip rock.
It's beautiful.
And those are my lips.
You kissed that?
You kissed it and then
I painted my lips with acrylic paint and went. Mwah.
Oh,
So
now it's like the Blarney Stone.
it
right?
is.
That
It
could be
is.
worth money.
There's plenty of Blarney in here.
They should put that on eBay.
Yeah.
We should.
We should sell
And
it.
it says "Love Jane."
You have a lot of fans.
Oh,
I love it.
Oh, we all have lots of fans. But yes,
Nobody's paying
so
for these lips. They're chicken lips.
Maybe. Mine, I have two because David painted one. This is his. Yeah, he did such. He was like, "Look, mommy, I'm using all the colors." Because I let him use Sharpie markers on this, and
right.
he never gets to use Sharpie markers. So he was like, "I'm using every Sharpie marker," and I have a box of like 50 to 100 of them because I'm a little obsessed. So like, if you're my fan and you want to make me happy, send me Sharpie markers. Won't make my husband happy, but it'll make me happy. And then the one I did was a little, like a little bouquet, a little garden, and it says Team Weaver on it.
I love it.
So
That's
David and
wonderful.
I are going to go hide these probably Wednesday on our adventure
Cool.
day.
Yes. So look for our rocks all around Berks County. Who knows?
Right.
Maybe San Francisco, maybe Chicago, maybe who knows where these rocks will wind up.
I mean, I'm going to Georgia in a month, so maybe one will end up in Georgia.
The Rocky went down to Georgia. He was looking for stones. Never mind. And on the subject of pretty little things, what do you think about Melania's jacket?
Jackets with
wasn't our best
messages
look.
on the back. Good idea. Don't we all want one?
Yeah.
I think for the next time we should all paint a jacket with a message on the
I
back.
think that would be wonderful.
I did
And then
that
But-
like for the entire decade of the 90s. I can't wear that anymore. I'm
I
adult
mean,
now.
I get that in part she's a fashion icon, right? And was a model, and so is supposed to be at the forefront of fashion. But then there's also making choices that aren't stupid. And I wonder, like and then I stop wondering because I'm like, I have other things to care about in life that
Exactly.
matter more. But it's like, I wonder if
Exactly.
it was a conscious decision, like I'm gonna wear this and really show the public what's going on. I don't know. I don't know
There's
who
so
she
many
is. I don't know
theories
anything
out
about
there.
her.
I mean, one, it's a $39 jacket from last season. She didn't have it hanging in her closet.
No.
She doesn't have anything that's worth $39.
Well, the first story was
Or
that
from
she
last
just.
season.
The first story was that she was in a hurry and she just ran out and grabbed that jacket. Now, if you've watched any president shows like The West Wing, you know that the first lady doesn't have the luxury of just going out and grabbing a jacket. Someone looks at everything she puts on.
Indeed.
And then there were other stories that
She's like 3 stylists.
that she did it as a message to support him. But the last I heard was that she was really annoyed with Mr. Trump. Imagine that. And she did it because she was angry with him because of what he was doing to separate families while she was trying to preach be the best or be best or whatever that thing is that she's doing.
And then there's option 4.
Which is she can't read.
No. No, which is we're not talking about Russia.
Exactly. Or
not-
the investigation.
Indeed.
Or Iran.
We're
or,
talking about a jacket.
Exactly.
And we're also losing sight of, what happened with immigration as well,
Well, I
and what
mean,
is still happening. And
They are masters of diversion.
Yeah.
They really are.
Indeed. So-
Yeah.
and some other things that are happening in country with.
I mean, if you follow my Facebook page, you know that today I wrote because he said something about these people invading our country. It's like, no. These people aren't invading our country. The Russians who hacked the election and your administration are the ones who are invading this country.
Well, and it's another way to create a title of them. These people from Central and South America and in Mexico aren't the only immigrants that are coming to this country, and they're also not the only ones coming in legally. But if we can
But the other ones that are white, we're not worried about.
exactly, I was just going to say, if we can, create a bad guy out of a brown guy, then that creates a solid image in people's mind. It doesn't matter that, most of the people coming into this country are just seeking a better life. It doesn't matter what the color of their skin
tonight,
is. It's let's polarize them and let's make them
Just
the bad guy.
before I came in here tonight, I saw a news broadcast where the reporter was actually at the border and watched two mothers and their children who snuck across the border. They were apparently taken across in a boat by a Mexican, and he immediately took the boat back out into the Rio Grande so they couldn't get him. This one woman was from Guatemala. She had a 1-year-old child with her. It was 100 degrees. She had walked with this 1-year-old child to invade our country. Do you think, because you have young children or a young child, would you walk that far with your 1-year-old child in incredible heat with a great deal of danger, unless there was something that was propelling you to get away from the country where you were living?
If the conditions in my country were such,
they're not invading us. They're asking us for help.
This is their last hope. They're coming from a place where the crime has threatened them in some personal way. Like, I read a story where this woman brought, her and her husband brought 3 young children. It's because the guy's brother-in-law was shot the week before for being an informant or something, and then there was a threat on every member of the family, and he was like, I have these children, I want them to live, I want them to have a life.
The woman I saw, her 1-year-old son, they had threatened to kill, they had already killed her husband.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, the stories go on and on. There was a 15-year-old girl today who, she was basically given the choice by drug lords in the city that we're either going to pimp you out or you have to sell drugs for us. And the mother took the child and said, here's some stuff, go.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, let me segue quickly to the next subject, which is the exhaustion of outrage.
It is.
Because I mean, we have to keep being outraged. There's no choice. But it does get tiring, and it's like, where do you look? And this is what is so brilliant about what he does. He throws these bombs all over the place, and we don't know where to look, so we're constantly running around not knowing what to react to. So we react to everything, which is a bad thing, because we've lost sight of the fact of what is really happening.
Yeah, and I think that my outrage has shifted a little bit, maybe not rightfully so, but my outrage has shifted to those people who blindly and emphatically endorse every single thing. I chose not to comment on this round, but there is a person on my Facebook, and I basically keep this person on my Facebook just to keep an eye on them. It's kind of how it's going. But I mean, post after post after post of how, it's not our fault that these children are getting separated. It's the person that brought them. And, well, you're a mother, so shouldn't, you wouldn't have done this to your child. I would have never done this to my children. You should know better. They should know better. And I'm sitting there going,
you don't know their circumstances.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not the point. And you were lucky to be born in this country under the circumstances you were given. I think that's where my outrage goes.
That's why they can say that.
And I'm like, you are a Christian.
Oh, please. Don't even get into
But that's what bothers me.
Don't even get into the
what
Christian
happened
thing.
to your empathy and your humanity and your kindness and
please.
The teachings that you were given here of opening your heart, and you treat the poorest as you treat me, and how you treat the poorest is how you treat God, and that kind of stuff. That's what really bothers me. I think that's where my outrage is going, is that these people, and even after he signed the executive order that he obviously couldn't sign because it was the Democrats' fault, but it got signed, they're still like pushing out post after post, and like, this is what Obama said, and this is what Clinton said, and it sounds
Nicole,
just like it.
What this is doing is polarizing his base. His base, I just read an article today by 2 women who have been very involved in a Republican women's group, a national Republican women's group, and they wrote a letter that was published today resigning from the Republican Party because they said the Republican Party has become so polarized that unless you agree with everything on that very narrow line, for instance, these women were pro-choice. and they said, and they were older women, the Republican Party has always had pro-choice and pro-life, and they have had a variety of people and opinions. They function as one party. There is no room in the Republican Party for pro-choice. So they have become so polarized. That base is so solid. They will never divide. They will never go away from him because he has made them feel empowered because they feel that they have been such victims and everybody else is responsible for their victimization.
Yeah.
How many terrorist attacks have been enacted by South American, Mexican perpetrators?
I don't know, but I feel like the number is super low.
And we keep saying that he keeps saying that ISIS has been defeated. No, actually, the other day I was reading, well sourced, that ISIS is actually on the rise again. We're not worried. We shouldn't be worried about protecting a border that really causes us no harm. The other borders are totally wide open. Anybody can come in over.
We need to remember the tenets of this country.
We are living in the politics of fear.
But we have all been immigrants at one time.
And we have. And on that note, let's talk about beer. Roll that tape.
Sorry.
No. Hi, we're here at Saucony Creek Brewing Company and Gastropub. We're near Kutztown, Pennsylvania. It's going to storm in a few minutes.
Yeah,
but we're going to tour this amazing new brewery that has opened not too long ago. And then we're going to stay afterwards and taste the wonderful food at the Gastropub. So we hope you'll enjoy us and hope you're having a beer at home while you're watching this, because we're going to have beer here. This is Ian Scott, and he's going to help us learn more about Saucony Creek Brewing Company. Saucony. I'm sorry about that. Saucony Creek
Just
Brewing
like the
Company.
shoes, yeah.
Like the shoes.
Yeah.
So, Ian, why don't you tell us a little bit about the place and
Okay.
how it started? And so
Yeah,
forth.
we've been around for 5 years. We've always been in this location. We love Kutztown, so that's where we're located, right outside the perimeter of the town. Saucony Creek, the name stems from the creek that runs through town. Back in the 1920s, I believe, Saucony Shoes had their shoe factory in town. So they named the creek. We pull from the aquifer for all the fun water to make the beer here at Saucony Creek.
That's really exciting.
It
That's
is.
really neat. And so, tell us a little bit about what you do and what the process is, and then you're going to show us around.
I will
right?
show you around, yeah.
Okay.
So we're a craft brewery. Obviously, we make all of our own beers. We've got a gastropub on site, so we have local sourced foods from farmers and anyone possible in the area, just to support local business because they support us as well.
Right, that's great.
We've got local wines, ciders, spirits as well up front, so we're a full bar, but we pull from the local area.
That's really exciting.
Can I ask about the logo? I love it.
The
by the way.
unicorn?
Yes, fantastic.
So obviously in the area, if you're from Pennsylvania, you've probably seen horse and buggies a lot.
Yeah, right.
In Kutztown, we get a ton of them.
Yeah.
So we kind of conjured up a little mascot and put a unicorn on there. Something more magical than the average horse pulling the buggy, because we all have to get to our daily destinations,
It's
and why
wonderful.
not have a unicorn?
I think that's
Right,
fantastic.
I love it.
That right there
wonderful.
sold me.
And we did that before the unicorns were trendy.
Right, right.
Like we were before that, and then all of a sudden they blossomed. So we were there ahead of time.
That's great.
Pre-trend.
Love it.
That's the way to
That's
be.
the way to go.
We're so glad to be here. Come tell us about what we're looking at there.
So we're going to go back through, look through all the fermenters, to the brew house. You'll see stacks of kegs, grain, barrels. It's all fun.
Okay, ready?
Let's go.
Ready?
All right, let's do it.
All right. Sorry.
And there'll be more from Saucony Brewing, Saucony Creek or Saucony? Saucony Creek
Saucony.
Brewing Company.
Right.
In just a few minutes. But now we have a wonderful news. A young man locally
Yeah.
did some
Mr.
amazing-
Walker.
Yes, Lonnie
Yay.
Walker, NBA draftee.
Yes.
Go ahead.
He just graduated high school.
He
Just
did,
this-
he
but
did a
he just
year.
did
He did a
1
year
year.
of college.
Yeah.
Oh, he did 1 year of college?
1 year.
That's crazy, though.
My husband was talking about him because, he's Mr. Sports. And he's real impressed with this kid. His big thing was that when kids are real good from inner city schools like Reading, that private schools in the area will try and pull them away. And apparently they
do.
did. And Lonnie was like,
didn't.
no, I want to stay here. And so he
He chose to stay at Reading.
He chose
That's
to
amazing.
stay.
Good for him.
And
that actually happened with Muhlenberg's baseball team this year.
Oh,
They had
really?
several boys who left last year in their junior year or their sophomore year maybe to go to play at a private local school that tends to draft good athletes.
Mm-hmm.
And they came back this year to Muhlenberg and they won the county championship.
good for them.
Yeah.
Good for
Wow.
them. Yeah.
They said they really felt an alliance to Muhlenberg public schools, and I thought
Oh,
that was
that's
great.
nice.
But Lonnie Walker is a really good guy. We've had other basketball heroes in Reading that were perhaps not quite as up to his level of values, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he really has been raised by a father who has really instilled really good,
Work ethic.
a good moral compass.
Yeah.
I think he must have been very torn because I think he wants to go into medicine at some point.
He had
And,
originally said, he wanted to finish college before going pro.
But this
and so I
was
hope
a
he goes back.
temptation, and I guess for basketball players, it's kind of an important thing.
Well,
to
your window
get going.
of professional life is this, and so
Yeah.
if he
He's gotta
keeps
take
that in
it
his
when it
mindset
comes.
that I'll play the game, I'll make the money, go back, get my education, and move on.
I
then
certainly hope he goes back.
I had
Me
that
too,
debate
me
with
too.
somebody the other day. They said,
I
no,
know.
college is important. I'm like, but yeah.
Well,
You're
it
only
is.
springy for so long.
Yeah.
yeah,
Springy.
those knees will
Good
give
for
out.
you, Lonnie Walker.
We're
and
proud
any
of you.
Lonnie
Yeah,
Walker
totally
fans.
proud.
We're going to
Yes.
follow your career and root for the Spurs, San
Spurs.
Antonio
The
Spurs,
Spurs.
right? Yay. But
I
we're
like-
not rooting for the.
It's so
Philadelphia.
exciting when they hit the ball and never mind.
That's one of them.
We'll just give Jane pom-poms.
Right.
There you go.
And in other good news, watch the road, boys, in Saudi Arabia. Women are driving
Oh,
now.
no. Who let that happen? Well, that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a tiny step. In
Yeah.
the, in
Yeah.
the
Well,
tiny
But it's
step
something.
about 200 years too late, but I would bet they're not allowed to own the cars they're driving.
I don't think they're
would-
even
I-
allowed to
they-
drive alone. I think the
It's an
husband
And
has
they
to be-
and they
Sounds about
cannot get a driver's license without their husband or father's permission.
Boy.
I don't know. I guess I'm not
it's
so
baby
happy
steps.
about this. Yeah, but
It's baby steps, but
I
the,
can't.
it
Real
needs to
baby
keep moving
steps.
forward.
Hopefully
But they're
not.
our friends.
right, they are our friends.
And,
That's right.
and on that note,
Forgot
let's
that.
have some more beer.
So, Ian, tell us what we're looking at. What happens here?
So this is the brew house. This is a 15-barrel brew house, which makes about, we have to do 2 batches of beer, 2 brews to fill one of our fermenters. They're 30-barrel fermenters. We've got 5 of those. We've got a 40-barrel, and we've got a small little 10-barrel over there. So this is a very large brew house compared to some of the local breweries that have small 2 to 5-barrel systems. We went bigger right away. As you upgrade in your business, you need bigger. So why not just start off bigger? Which gives us the ability to do a lot of distribution, not just internal pub sales. So this is going to make, if you were to do 2 brews and 100% yield, you'd have 60 barrels, like half-barrel kegs. So like the half barrels here, the smaller ones are called sixtels.
So, this is where it all starts.
That's where it all starts.
So, what happens here? I mean, what is in there?
So every time you're making the same beers, you're going to read off the recipe. If you're making something new, you kind of make your own. Whether the brewer's researching other beers that style, other recipes, what he's already known. And basically, grain comes in, shipped in from these super sacks over here, or some 50-pound bags, or some specialty malts. So then all that has to be milled. So we've got the mill over there, the whole box.
You mill it yourself.
We mill it ourselves, yep.
Wow.
So it's almost like a food processor or coffee grinder, just churning away, doing like a coarse grind. Grinds it up, puts it through this PVC pipe to the auger, drop it into the mash tun. Inside the mash tun, we got a paddle. So inside there, there's a big mixing paddle that slowly churns. There's all the grains flowing in there, and then the hot water here rises to start steeping the grain. It sits in here for 30 minutes after it's all in there, slowly spinning, and we're extracting all the flavors, the proteins, all the part that make beer. We take all the water, obviously, and then it gets pumped into here in the kettle. And then that's where we'll boil the grain, so it's starting the process. We let this cool down, and then we give this to our local farmer, and then he feeds his dairy calves part of their diet. It's called spent grain, but there's still some nutritional value to it, just we've already got what we wanted. You could always make dog biscuits, grind it up, make your own flour, but he feeds his calves.
I've heard of a lot more of that happening.
Yeah.
I love that. It's like very, circle of grain. I'm an ag teacher.
Yeah, it's a circle of life. It's community driven. Like
I love that.
Some breweries, like in weird laws, you have to like sell it to the farmer. It's like we don't want it to do anything. We just want to get rid of it. Like we're done. Let them use it. Like we could start our own compost pile that'd be huge, this mountain, and then we still need to do something else with it.
Very smart.
But after the grain's gone, while that's sitting there, we're boiling the beer. So depending on your recipe, you're adding extra ingredients. Whether it's our hexeri, you're adding the coriander and orange peel during the whole process. Fill like a big cheesecloth sack filled with all of that ingredients and swirling around in there. You're adding hops at different intervals.
So you steep those ingredients.
Yep.
I've always wondered how that kind of stuff is added in.
And then this way you can pull that big sack out when you're done, because you don't need that fermenting with it. So you just need that flavor to be part of the brewing process. Similar to like when you're making a soup or a stew or a ragu, you're throwing in some stuff later on, like the basil, but some stuff you add in the beginning. So like you're adding your bittering hops at the very beginning, you finish off with some floral hops. This is where you throw in the butternut squash right away. And with our Maple Mistress beer. So anything that you want in there for the full flavor process, you throw in early. After it's done cooking, we transfer it over to one of these fermenters.
Excuse me.
Oh,
Thank you.
bless you.
Wipe the wall.
That was Jane for whatever.
That's that Arbor Mist.
Indeed. Is that what we're drinking?
Yeah,
Harbor Mist?
Arbor
Misty
Mist,
Harbor.
yes.
Oh,
Arbor Mist,
Arbor
white
Mist.
Zinfandel with exotic fruits.
That's
thank you,
fancy.
Barthy. It's very tasty.
That's
And
delicious.
also for the lovely repas. We just want to quickly mention, because we talked about this at our breakfast meeting, the Animal Rescue League of Berks County is overrun with cats. And cats are our friends. They're lovely creatures.
Yes.
I have 3 of them. I can't take one more, so somebody else has to pick up the slack. But you can go to berksarl.org, berksarl.org, to find out where they are and more information. I don't know, Sarah may be able to
They are
confirm this.
waiving the adoption.
They're waiving the adoption
I
fee.
think till July or through July, because
Okay.
they have over 800 cats that have been
Wow.
brought in.
Oh my
that have been
goodness.
brought in since April. Last year at this
Oh my
time,
gosh.
they had
I
half
wish I
that
could take
number.
them all.
And cats are lovely, lovely creatures.
Yes.
You could even go away for a night and let them extra food, and it's not cruelty. It's just they
One
kind of
would
like
think.
it.
Right.
No, they like
I
it.
do
They're
not
like
have
me
that one
time.
with my cat, but
I can just lay here now on the bed and all the places
Yeah,
that.
we have velvet.
Oh, I can walk on the stove. How happy.
Yeah, my cat would absolutely not tolerate another animal in the house.
But yes,
Aw.
please check out berksarl.org, the Berks Animal Rescue League. Adopt a cat.
it's
They're
free,
wonderful.
isn't it?
It's free.
It's
And
Give a kitty a good home.
And the ARL is a no-kill shelter.
yes.
That's
They need
important.
help. So
Which is
get
why,
these
yes,
kitties.
we want to say hello to our friend Jason, who is thrilled to know that we like brew pubs. So he's he's volunteered to take us on a tour of any of the brew pubs around Berks environs.
Wow.
Can it be after November? So I can partake?
Yeah,
Because right now,
not get to taste any of the beer.
That looks good, guys. I'll drink my water.
Sounds like
Thank you, Jason. We'll try to take you up on that.
Good Christmas show. We could do a Santa Claus pub crawl.
Oh,
I'm
that sounds
down.
good. Who's the? I guess
I'll bring my
Jamie's
new little
designated
elf.
driver. But all right. Speaking of things that lick, I was going back to the cats.
You're like Sheila level segues now.
Sheila went somewhere that we were all interested in. We thought it was a bar. It isn't.
I know why
She
you said
went-
lick now.
She went to the Salt Lounge.
I did.
What the heck is the Salt Lounge?
It's this place that's.
It didn't have margaritas with just salt around them.
No, I don't think so. They had other stuff though. They had all kinds of stuff. The room, what I went for was foot reflexology. I went with my friend Kristen, who was the one that helped me paint my rocks. She knows the owner of the place because I guess she used to do stuff at her salon.
Okay.
It's a room. Well, the room we went into, the floor was made of salt. There was like little pebbles. It felt like a kitty litter box. Like I really felt like I was walking on kitty litter. It was really cool. And it was dark, so I couldn't tell what color it was, but I think it was pink, which is awesome. And the wall was pink salt also, and they had these lounge chairs and they play music and you get a blanket. They give you a blanket. Like, have you ever heard of such a thing? And you just kind of chill there while she rubs your feet, and then in the meantime they spray salt into the room. It helps your breathing. It helps other stuff too, like asthma, skin problems.
I have always wondered about this because I pass it on State Road.
It's right in my house.
And I see this sign that says the Salt Lounge.
I thought it was a bar.
Nondescript little building, and I'm like,
it's not a
what
bar.
is that? Oh my
So
gosh,
at
we need
some
to go.
point, maybe we'll all take a field trip
They
to
do yoga, they
Salt
do
Lounge
massages.
Yeah, it would be
you can
great
actually
to-
just sit in the room and get sprayed with salt. Like when you leave the room and you go shower
like a
the next,
soft
like
pretzel.
your next shower, you you are very salty. It's
But in a good way.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I noticed my breathing right away even before they told me anything. I was like,
Really?
oh, yeah, like my breathing was better because I
Wow.
have allergies and I'm always wheezy and stuff. But
Once my toe is healed and I can actually walk around on salt
oh yeah, you
without
can't
screaming
walk
in
on the
pain.
kitty
Oh, yeah,
little
that'd be a little
toe
rough.
like that.
We will go to Salt Lounge.
It's
That's
fun.
really
I think
cool.
it's great.
That's
Yeah,
really
I'm
cool.
looking forward to going
If
back
you're
again.
watching and you happen to be the proprietress of the Salt Lounge,
I enjoyed
we
your
would
place.
love to come to visit you.
Yes.
Make us a deal. Like the order.
Look at
It's
you
affordable. It's
pandering
very
for
affordable, and they
favors.
sell products. They sell like
Oh,
soap
my
and
goodness gracious.
lava lamps. Or and the reason Jane said lick is because I told Jane a story about how my former roommate had a salt lamp.
Right.
And I didn't believe it was made of salt, so I licked it. It is made of salt. I had to know. I said, "Is it real salt?" She said, "Sure it is." I said, "Can I taste it?" She said, "You can." And I did. And it was gross.
And it is.
Yeah, it sure is salt. And I put it down like nothing. So that's
And
why
guess
I
what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for the surprise topic.
Oh, cool.
Roll that tape.
Oh, I have a surprise topic.
Oh, is that a surprise to you?
Yeah, I forgot. No,
We
I
should
remember
do
that.
that. Oh my gosh, we should do that.
Surprise to me,
We
who
should
has-
never. Jamie should never tell us who has the surprise topic.
Oh, no.
And it
Just zoom in on you.
I would lose my stuff on screen.
Anyway, sorry. Go
Down for
ahead.
that. So the surprise topic. So my friend Becca, who is a friend of all of ours, she watches our show often with her husband, was going through some old stuff at her house and found a picture in her husband's yearbook from Muhlenberg High School. And I think Jamie has a picture, so we should take a look at the picture. Look who it is! It's Martha!
Oh my God.
What? And I think, I'm not sure, but is
my
that
son.
Barry on the right? That might be Barry on the right.
I think it might be,
see
but
the
it's my
light.
son kissing me.
Oh my goodness!
God.
That's isn't that so crazy?
God.
There's
It was
little,
like 1988.
yeah, that sounds about right.
1988, yeah. It was, he played basketball.
Is he giving you a rose? Jamie and I
They
were
gave
trying to
us
figure
a
out what that
rose,
was.
And they brought the
It's a
mothers
rose.
out.
I wish I could
And-
see that picture.
I think I have it on my phone. I can show it to you.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
Surprise!
Oh my
Becca showed it to me in the yearbook, so I took a picture of it and then I sent it to Jamie.
And
I'm
was
like,
it
"Look
her
at this."
husband went there?
Her husband went to
What was
Muhlenberg.
his name?
Chris Molanis.
I know. Malonis?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I know.
You know who he is?
Yes.
Yep, that's her husband.
Yeah.
I mean, he graduated from Reading, but he went
Do
to
you have an
Muhlenberg.
older brother, Stevie?
I
Or
don't
brother
know.
Steve? I
Becca?
do know him. I know his.
Are you watching? Can you answer
Let's
that?
I have to Twitter it.
Becca, tell us.
Wow, Becca,
Anyway,
yeah,
so-
that's the surprise topic.
Surprise!
Absolutely.
That video was so
I'm
loud.
jumping around because we have a lot of things to cover and very little time. So, okay, I was going to do something between that, but okay, let's go see the last Saucony Creek Brewing Company video.
Roll that tape.
It's done cooking. We transfer it over to one of these fermenters. We cool it down during that process. Before we pitch in the yeast, yeast would not like to be thrown in hot items. So yeast lives at a nice dormant temperature, depending on the strain, 70 degrees, good temp. So inside, after we brew that, we do 2 brews to fill up one of the tanks. And then we let it sit in there after the yeast is pitched in for about 2 weeks. So in the fermentation process, imagine like a Pac-Man.
Right.
That's the yeast eating the sugar. And so like just going around eating the sugar, and then what's left inside of the tank is the alcohol. The CO2 is released. So if we go over here, you'll see the blow-offs. Every tank has a blow-off valve. So this one right over here was brewed yesterday, and this yeast is active. That's all the yeast, Pac-Mans, chewing away and basically farting, you know.
Right. Exactly.
And we're getting rid of it. So that's a very active yeast.
You can smell.
Yep.
You can smell the flavors.
Oh, I
in it.
smell
That's
it,
really
yeah.
cool.
So when
wow.
this is done,
It's the yeast part.
when this is done fermenting, this will stop bubbling. So it'll start slowing down. So the one over there, it's basically done. You might see a bubble every once in a while, but it's done. When we're done, when it's done fermenting, we'll close the valve. We'll then drain out all the dead yeast. Obviously, you're not going to want to drink that. It's just not something people like. So you get rid of all the dead yeast. You might have any other sludge or slurry from all the extra hops or anything else that's in there. You drain it out, and then you'll pump it into the finishing tanks. But while it's in the fermenters here, you can then take it out and put it into barrels. So behind you, we have some barrels of beer just aging. You can use red wine barrels, bourbon barrels, tequila barrels, whatever barrels you want, you can age them in.
Does that change the flavor of it?
It would.
It does, sure.
So
I
not
didn't know
every.
you could age beer in a barrel.
I didn't either.
I thought that was like wine and liquor.
No?
I thought too.
So when they're done with it, then we can use it depending on what our beer that we're looking to brew, or not everything would work in said barrel.
Okay.
But if it all works out, it's fun.
How often are you guys experimenting on a new beer, a new product that you want to put out? Like, are you all encouraged to like go home and try something and be like, I found something that's wonderful, let's brew this?
Kind of. I mean, it works a little bit like that, but we gather together, a little brainstorming, collaboration, ideas, and we throw things out there to see what other breweries are doing as well. We want to be in the trend, but then you also just want to do your own version of it. So that's kind of where you get to play around, but you have to also make it safe. You know, like it has to be able to sell. So like you go on that safety, and you're like, people want that, we're gonna keep going that route. Like we've got our core beers, but then you also have your variations and fun things to see how they go. And if it doesn't go as planned, you're not probably making it again. Like no one wants that again. Yeah.
Okay.
This is really wonderful. This is just fantastic. And I know you've gotten all kinds of prizes for different beer.
We've had a gold medal a couple years ago for our peach and ginger saison. Yeah.
Yeah.
Peach
Yeah.
and ginger seeds.
Yeah. That's just
sounds good.
Yeah. Well, should we go to the front and start trying some things?
Yeah, we love that. Yeah, some of us. Thank you.
Some of us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, some of us.
That is
That
the
was fun.
end of that part of our trip. Well, their trip. I wasn't long, but I did go there
We
after
loved
I
it.
got back off the bus from Chicago, and it was delightful. And next month, wouldn't that be lovely if we were weekly?
Yes, it would
Next-
be.
next month, we'll actually have the drinking and tasting portion of
best part.
Yes, the best part of the
Best
trip to
part.
Saucony Creek Brewing Company.
That
Thank
was
you
the
for
best
hosting
place.
us. It was
That
a
place was
lovely time.
great.
So we have two buildings that we're losing in well, not necessarily losing the buildings, but
Losing the businesses that were in the
losing
building.
businesses. The intercity bus terminal
Yes.
and the post office.
Both
Yeah,
for sale.
I was surprised about both of these. I didn't
But
know
the
that.
post office building has it been functioning as a post office building?
Well, where does the
Within
mail go?
it does. It has.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been. I've
So, well,
been
now
there the
where
last.
will the
What
mail
is going
go?
to happen?
I'm wondering. I feel like mail's becoming obsolete anyway. There
No.
might be like a special
No, no.
facility for
No,
I
mailing.
still like
somewhere
getting
they're
mail.
trying to find somebody
Oh.
who will keep there must be some retail business in the post office building because they're going to try to find somebody who will buy it and allow that retail
To
whatever
continue.
it is to continue.
Possibly. The bus terminal, I know they're having some difficulty because
Yeah.
the building is just too expensive.
What will
Well, why-
Bieber
I
do?
got- I never
And the
underst-
building, I feel like, is in
I
disrepair
never
as well.
understood why they didn't just, when they built the new bus terminal, move up there in
Right.
the first place.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think there was a frisson between them
And Bieber.
and Beaver.
Possibly.
Justin's Bus Company, by the way. Justin Bieber
Yeah, that's
has
Justin's
a-
company. Help him
Yes,
out.
yes.
Buy the bus company.
Yes, buy the bus company.
Buy the terminal from our friend Justin.
And that's
terrible to
how
always
we make
think
a
that.
fake a fact. So is anybody going away for the summer?
I just got back from being away.
Ah. And
I
how
was-
was that?
It was lovely. We stay with my parents in Pittsburgh, and it was great. It was a really good visit. They put in a pool last year, so David spent as much time as he could in the pool. The kids love fish. It was really good. And we went to the Children's Museum. We saw some movies. We spent some time together, did some fun stuff. It was great.
Good.
It was great. It was
Yeah.
actually a very good visit, mostly because people kept their politics to themselves 90% of the time. So, that helps.
It does
But
help.
it was good. It was very relaxing, and we don't have to pay for a hotel while we're
Right,
there, so
right.
that's enjoyable. So
I think we're going to go in fall. If we go somewhere, it'll probably be
Fall is the
Matthew's
best
or
season,
Barry's
I
going to Florida in August for a conference. Like who goes to Florida in
in
August?
August, yeah, that's gonna be hot.
That's for sure.
But I
Muggy.
think we'll wait until later in fall to go somewhere.
Cool. You?
Me, no, I'm not going anywhere. My summers are consumed by band, so
Oh, that's right.
I'll
yes.
be here and Reading.
Well, the rest of your year is consumed with band too, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well,
pretty
yeah.
much.
You have no break. You're
No.
you're a little worker bee.
Yeah.
And yet you still find time to paint beautiful rocks.
Absolutely, they
And
are
bake
gorgeous.
cupcakes.
I did.
Now, I'm fascinated by this because I have my own experiences with it. But I hear you. I hear you have Alexa in your home now.
I do. We do
Yeah.
have Alexa.
I'm impressed.
We do. Well, it's been kind of interesting. It turned on the other day when I was talking to my daughter. I'm not quite sure what I said. Something that excuse me, that must have sounded like Alexa. We haven't had any problems with it.
Of course, the first
it's
thing that
very
sounds
nice.
like Alexa that pops into my mind is just not right.
Well, my son and Melissa have a friend whose name is Alexa, and she was there for dinner one night, and they had to turn the mechanical Alexa off because every time they talked to their friend and mentioned her name, the Alexa would go on. It's fun. It's very nice. She will tell you a joke if you say, "Alexa, tell us a joke." They're very
Now, what do you
corny.
use her for?
We use her mostly for music,
Okay.
Alexa, play Bach when Barry's not in the house, and Alexa plays Zydeco when Barry's in the house. You can play 20 questions with her. It's lots of fun.
That's fun.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
Jamie has his house all hooked up with lights and things, and you just walk in the living room and say, Alexa, living room on. And
Right. We don't have
Wow,
ours.
that's
And you
fun.
can like have it put on lights before you get home too, right?
yes, he does
Oh,
that.
I
It's
may
funny.
need to look into
we
I
don't
that.
have
that.
friends that have that too, and they were talking about it.
Now, I
It's-
was over there doing Kirk's
Now I kinda
laundry,
want it.
and they have the cellar light put on there. And when you say, Alexa, cellar light on, she goes, there are no alarms set. And then you say, no, cellar light on. What time did you want to set the alarm? No, cellar light on.
Right.
And finally, the cellar lights go on.
basement.
Yes. Well, no, she didn't like basement
She doesn't
apparently
like
either.
basement?
So
She's a fuss bucket.
we are getting into lightning round because we have just about
Boom,
3
boom,
minutes
boom.
left.
Oh, wow.
So,
Oh, my goodness. Okay,
yes, I
lightning
know
round.
it just flew by, didn't it?
It did.
All right. What is your favorite frozen treat for the summer?
Ice cream.
What kind?
All kinds, but like probably just vanilla. I'm boring. I mean, I like them all, but that's my favorite.
It is good.
Wendy's Frosties.
Oh, Frosties are good.
Chocolate or
Or
vanilla?
chocolate.
Chocolate, yes. Do they taste the same to you?
The Frosty
I
and
had
chocolate,
one the other
vanilla.
No, they're different.
Yes.
They
They don't
are
have that
different.
They're
malty
different.
flavor that
yes,
they used to have.
Yes.
And what's
They're
a
different.
They just
frosty
taste
without
chocolate.
a malty?
That's
Right.
right.
Yeah.
They're still good.
They're stale.
I like popsicles and stuff. I like those firecracker pops.
The red, white, and blue ones?
Yeah, because they make your tongue blue
They're
and then
fun.
red.
And if you
And I'm
use-
5.
And if you use Ibotta,
so
they
lit.
always have money back on those
Really?
popsicles.
Oh.
On those rocket
I'm a
pops.
big fan of those cheap pops too. That like cut your tongue if you're not
Yeah,
careful
yeah,
about how you
yeah.
open them.
Yeah.
No, I like those. The freeze
Yes,
pops.
I like popsicles too. They're cooling and refreshing.
Yeah.
And the citrusy ones were good for morning sickness. So I was like eating a ton of them.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
lemon.
hooked on them now. Yeah.
So I guess we can skip everything else and quickly ask. Now I know you're involved with Genesius, and I want to hear about
Oh,
this. It's a
the
musical
bridges?
about pants, right?
The pants.
The bridges of
Oh, the
Madison-
bridges.
Oh my
The
gosh,
bridges of
Jane.
Madison County. It's about bridges.
Oh, bridges!
No,
I
yeah.
thought it was bridges.
It
Never
always
mind.
sounds like it's about bridges.
It was like
It's
an
not
epic
really
dad
about-
joke.
But it's a really good show.
One
I mean,
minute,
it,
1 minute left.
It
Talk
runs
fast.
Wednesday through Sunday at you can check out the website genesiusdifference.org. It's a really good show. I recommend it.
The amazing
Excellent.
Becca.
And I'll
isn't
be
it?
in the box office. So
Oh,
Anything
right.
else?
I'm
coming up?
going Thursday. So
If you want to see Nicole live and Sheila live, go to.
All right.
as I sit there watching a great show.
yeah.
Anything that you have coming up?
No, Reading Theater Project is, I think their next project will be in October or November. They're going to do an original play by Joel Gorey.
All right.
Look forward to that.
And I am back on being Kirk's slave on the Oz tour. He's at Dutch Apple now through August 4th, doing more of Wizard of Oz. So
Yes.
if you want to come see a wonderful show, here it is, a wonderful thing. He is the wonderful wizard. Anyway, I'm doing his laundry constantly, so you won't see me, but you will see him. Dutch Apple, DutchApple.com, and it's a wonderful little show. And so we will be back with you next month on Monday, July 23rd at 9 o'clock. Thank you to BCTV and our wonderful crew, Joan, Brendan, John, and Soleil. Thank you,
right.
and good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.